happy Friday, everyone. I know it's early, but you know, your girl got to go to work. And so I just really feel that God has given me a purpose, and Motivational Minute is one of my purposes. And I don't want to be remiss in not doing what God told me to do. So last week we talked about listening to the voice of God. So this week I want to talk about, okay, now what? I've listened, I'm listening, now what? And so that takes us into God's purpose for our lives. That takes us to God's assignment for our lives. And so if we're listening to the voice of God, we're listening for direction. We're listening for, okay, God, what do you want me to do? What is my assignment? And so today we're going to go over to Ephesians, and we're going to go into chapter 2, and we're going to look at verse number 10. It says, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." So this tells us that God has a plan for our lives. This tells us that God has a purpose for our lives. God has an assignment for our lives. And you know, sometimes we hear God telling us to do this, that, and the other, and we're like, God, I can't do that. God, you want me to do what? God, that's my plan. You want me to quit my job and go out and give my money to the poor and feed the hungry and clothe the naked? That's my assignment? God, you want me to do this, that, and the other? I don't think I can do that. But I wanted you all to think about Moses. And so, you know, when I was talking to a friend earlier, we were talking about Moses' assignment. And you know, God sent Moses on the top of Mount Sinai to get instructions and to talk to him. You know what? Moses was 80 years old. Moses was 80 years old, you know, about that age, and he took a 2.5 mile trip, walk up a mountain to go talk to God. So again, put that in perspective. An 80-year-old man, he took a 2.5 mile walk up a mountain to go and talk to God. And you like, if an 80-year-old can take a 2-hour hike up a mountain, that means that whatever your assignment is from God, whatever your purpose is with God, God will make a way, because we are his workmanship. We are created for good works, which God prepared beforehand. So God has already prepared us. God already knew what our assignment was going to be. God already knew what our purpose was going to be. So I'm encouraging you today to walk in your purpose, to fulfill God's assignment for your life. And remember to listen to the voice of God, so you know exactly what it is that he wants you to do. And then I want you to think about Moses being 80 years old. And he took more than one trip up that mountain, but he was 80 years old. And so I want you to remember there's nothing too difficult if God has assigned you to do that task. There's nothing you aren't too old, you aren't too young, it's not too hard, it's not too easy. It's exactly what God prepared for your life. It is exactly the assignment that God has for you. Think about it and have a great day.